Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of Revved Up Reviews. My name's Salvatore and this is a collaboration between the Motor Marvel and Only Cars. Today we're in Greenacre at MyCarChoice and we're checking out the dealership, interviewing the owner, and we're doing a review on a very comical but very popular Suzuki Carry. Let's go. All right guys, so we're with Mo here, the owner of MyCarChoice in Greenacre.
Hey mate, how are you? Very good.
So Mo's going to take us on a tour, and Mo, how did this all start?
Well, we started back in 2018.
Yep.
On Granville Parramatta Road.
Yep.
We moved here during COVID.
Yep.
We needed the space, more cars, and we've been here since 2022 in this place. So we've been doing used cars for a long time. I've been in for about 15 years.
Wow.
Yes.
And talk about your stock. So you're telling me before off camera you've got a mixture of Japanese imports and local stock.
Correct. So initially we were doing only local stock.
Yeah.
Thanks to COVID,
Yeah.
no stock development in Australia, cars went through the roof, the prices, so we had to pivot the business.
Yep.
So we decided to move into Japanese imports. We had contact in Japan, so it was a bit easier for us just to start importing Japanese cars.
Yep.
So now at the moment we've got a 50-50 choice between local domestic cars and Japanese imported vehicles.
Cool. So we'll go for a tour. Show us some cars, Mo, that people would not get necessarily in Australia and they're only in Japan.
The beautiful thing about, we've got a couple of the people movers, we'll show it later, Nissan Serenas.
Yep.
We've got something like a compact 7-seater, they're in hybrid. Your Nissan Note, it's an e-power. It's based on a Nissan Leaf, but it's got a engine that actually charges the battery.
Yep.
Your popular Toyota CHR.
Yep.
CHR started in Australia in 2019,
Yep.
where in Japan they started in 16 as a hybrid vehicle.
Oh, wow.
And that's where you can get a sort of an earlier model,
Yep.
cheaper prices in hybrid. And then something like the Suzuki Swift, the Honda Fit, and then we've got the Suzuki Carries, which are the mini trucks.
Yes, which we will be reviewing later on, which are very comical but very fun.
They are very fun cars.
This Fit, now this is weird. So this is not a Jazz.
Correct. So for someone that's looking at this vehicle, they think it is a Honda Jazz.
Yep.
In Japan, it is badged as a Honda Fit.
Yeah.
The main difference is it's just it's a hybrid vehicle, not a sort of a pure, not a petrol vehicle.
Ah, right.
So when you go online, look for the Honda Jazz, you're not going to find it. You got to look for the Honda Fit, but it's exactly the same vehicle as a Honda Jazz.
Oh, wow. So you've got a very diverse
They're
range
very
of stock.
economical. When we're talking about a fuel consumption,
Yeah.
they report about 3 litres per 100 Ks, 3 to 4 litres per 100 Ks on a car like this.
That's incredible.
It is.
Guys, so we're going to head inside and Mo's going to run us through what you guys should look out for, especially when buying Japanese imports.
All right, come through,
Let's
guys.
go. So guys, this is what makes MyCarChoice vastly superior to the competitors is because the attention to detail when it comes to purchasing Japanese imports. So Mo, run us through what a good car is and what a bad car is and what people should look out for.
Yeah, look, a couple of things is actually that what we do on behalf of our customers when buying a vehicle.
Yeah.
Couple of things we've got to ask for an auction report. Every car comes with an auction report and with the grading. In Japan, they rate their vehicle from 2.5 to 5. The higher the number, the better the quality it is.
Yep.
When we talk about used cars, probably going to get somewhere between the 4, 4.5. Very rarely you get grade 5 unless that car is really brand new. So this is an example of one of the cars that we bought, auction grade 4.5, which is very high. And they also give you a bit of description of the wear and tear and the scratches on the vehicle. Right. So this is sort of what to look for. Also, we have to look for the export certificate, what's known as well as the DREG papers.
Right.
That's confirmed the kilometers for us when we buy that car. So for example, we bought that car from the auction with 10,864 kilometers.
Yep.
Going to the DREG papers, in Japan, they do like a roadworthy check every couple of years, and they record the kilometers. So we can see that car in 2020, in June 20, had 6,000 kilometers. June 22 had 9,200 kilometers. And when we bought that car recently, had 10,000 kilometers. So the kilometers are consistent with the car.
So you know that it's not
Exactly. Exactly. And also with the auction report, normally in Japan, if they place a $ next to the kilometers, that means the auction in Japan suspect the kilometers has been tampered with or the odometer has been replaced. And that's where things we stay away from, we don't buy it.
Oh, wow. So what's a bad report look like?
Look, this is a bad report that I got online for another Suzuki Carry. So don't buy anything with a grade R because that means that car is repairable right off in Japan.
Wow.
Also, when we look at the Panel replacement, you can see anything that has XX means that panel has been replaced in Japan, and these are things that we don't buy. So we've got our team in Japan, they are our agents, they hit the auction at 6 o'clock in the morning to physically inspect those cars for us. Anything with cigarette smells, underbody rust, underbody paint, panel replacement, we actually cancel the bids. Even though that car might be a grade 4 or 4.5, they physically touched it, they've seen it, we end up cancelling the bid.
Wow. And there is a car that Mo's going to show us with that where it got great ratings, but the car itself is not in that good condition.
Exactly. Look, I go at night and place my bids based on the auction report. I don't understand much the Japanese side of it. And that's where my team comes in the morning and they give me feedback. So they hit the auction in the morning and they come in and say, okay, they give us physical photos where you can see all the scratches. Then we go underbody to see if there's any rust. As well, interior of the vehicle. And you can see some of the interior photos. So a lot of wear and tears on the exterior, being a black vehicle.
And they're not what they said it were.
Exactly.
Like that's
some of the seats, your steering wheel wear off. And so even though that car is actually grade 4, we actually passed on that car. So do not worry about it, cancel that bid. So any car that comes here, it end up going as well to the holding yard. So when the car goes to our holding yard, they end up re-inspecting that vehicle again. And they send us clearer photos of the exterior, interior, underbody. And if they pick up on anything that they missed during the auction, we end up returning that car to auction.
Wow. So it's very in-depth.
It is very in-depth, and that's the reason why.
Very in-depth. And obviously gets a stick of approval or odometer reading.
Yes, so some of the cars depends on which auction we buys it from. We can do a kilometer check, and we are doing that on those cars, and you get a certificate that this kilometers has been checked in Japan before it comes here. Along with your auction report and your DROH papers, you are safe.
Wow. And then another thing, Mo, Apple CarPlay.
Yes.
Because they're from Japan, so most cars, the Japanese imports, I've noticed this from friends in the past have bought Evos, and it's completely in Japanese. So how do you guys, and what's your approach on that?
Look, 95% of the cars that we import from Japan, we are able to do Apple CarPlay for them. Because as you know, in Japan, they've got a shorter frequency when it comes to radio station. So you end up not picking up all the stations. And then the screen might be all in Japanese. So you might be driving a $30,000 car, but everything in Japanese, you can use the maps. So we do Apple CarPlay for the majority of the cars that we are actually selling at the yard, and that's including in the cost of the price.
Oh, wow.
We service those cars in terms of oil filter, and air conditioning cabin filter, engine air filter. 95% of the time they get tires replaced as well. They get a 100-point pre-delivery inspection. They get 3 years extended warranty on those cars as well, and a 12-month roadside assistance.
You can't complain about that, guys. That's pretty damn good.
And all our passenger cars, we don't import anything under auction grade 4. So the minimum criteria for us for passenger vehicles is auction grade 4.
What else can you ask for?
So we've done the homework on behalf of the customers, and this is exactly what we do with each customer. It's an educational journey. We sit with every customer, minimum 2 to 3 hours, to walk through everything for each car they're interested in, to make sure they're fully aware of that car before they make a decision.
That's another thing I'm going to say, Mo. You know a lot about your cars. I've been to dealerships in the past, and the sales staff don't know what they're talking about, and I know more about the car than they do, where you know everything about your stock.
Look, we try our best to actually know our product. Knowledge is very important, and that's why customers love us, because when they come into us, we give them fact about the cars. We don't give them information they want to hear for them to buy the car. We answer every question honestly, and we do a lot of homework before we start buying these cars and import them from Japan.
That's awesome. All right, guys, so we're going to go check out the Suzuki Carry. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. This is so funny.
So imagine loaded that thing with 350 kilos.
So speaking about, guys, so we're in the Carry now, and this is very funny. It's actually quite fun to drive. As funny as this is, Mo was right. This is a fun little car. Mo, talking about weight, like what can you fit in the back, the weight, payload?
In terms of payload, it's 350 kilos recommended, but I've seen people throw them into like mobile pizzas, food trucks. They come in dump trucks. Anything you want. But they are fun to drive. You can load whatever in the back. They come in 2-wheel drive, in 4-wheel drive, and many other options as well.
I'm very upright.
Yes, that's why you might need to get the space cab. That gives more room to lay back.
It is very hilarious how upright you actually are sitting. And in terms of creature comforts, obviously it's got air conditioning and it's got electric windows, but you did say to me that does not come standard.
That's right. You got to be careful because we're not used to it anymore.
Yeah.
These cars come standard with wind down windows. So if you need electric power windows, you have to make sure that to look for it because air condition, power steering, and electric windows are option on the Suzuki Carry.
It's just hilarious. So then what do you get? You just get a car.
You just get a car.
That's
it.
That is
So the majority of the one that we do imports, they do come with the option.
right.
Then we go through either a two-wheel drive option or a four-wheel drive option.
Yep.
Also, you've got the safety pack. So this particular one we're driving, it does come with a safety pack.
Yeah.
So you've got your lane departure, your anti-collision, and also your stop-start to save on battery and save on fuel.
So what is the fuel consumption?
Look, fuel consumption anywhere between probably 5 litres to 6.5 litres per 100 Ks. Depends how you're going to drive it, what your load is, your city and your highway.
Yeah.
In Japan, they might say, look, about 4.5 litres per 100 Ks.
Yeah.
But realistic word driving, I would say between 5 and 6.
And the engine itself is a 3-cylinder.
Yes, 3-cylinder, 660cc engine.
Do you mind if I put my foot down?
Yeah, sure, go ahead. There you go. So definitely as not as fun as your M2.
Oh, no, nowhere near as powerful as any other sports car or any other normal hatchback out there, but it's not bad.
It does have the power.
It does have the power. Look, it's not terrible, but it's not. It's comical. Like the noise it makes, like it's so funny. And what, like, in terms of the 4x4 option, if you get the 4x4 option, do you notice that it gives you a bit more stability on the road? You feel like is it a full-time four-wheel drive?
It is full-time, yes. So it's all-wheel drive, yes. So it depends on what you're going to need it for. So we've got people from tradies, traffic controllers, landscapers, people that use it on the farm, people who use it for fun. So it really comes down to your needs and what you're going to use it for.
Right.
And that's where you decide to go, I want an all-wheel drive or just a two-wheel drive option.
Well, the thing is, that's where I think this car would be in its element, is on a farm.
Look, you think so, but believe it or not, the majority of the customers, they actually use it for road use.
Wow. Well, because it makes sense. Like, I was thinking about this before. If you're a tradie, right, and you don't want a big 4x4, so you don't want one, you just want a sports car. So you're adamant that you want a sports car, and then you need something just to go to work that you don't care about, that can fit in tight spaces and get you anywhere that you need to be.
Exactly.
Why wouldn't you buy one of these?
Exactly.
Like, why wouldn't you buy one?
You can park it anywhere you want. Like I said, if you're a tradie, load your tools in the back.
Yeah.
Even just going out camping.
Yeah.
We went for the barbecue the other day.
Yep.
I actually took one from the yard, loaded all the barbecue gear on the back, and off you go. Very easy to load and unload. I'll show you when you open all the bag.
Yeah.
Like, very easy to load your stuff in there.
I just find it just extremely comical to drive. People are looking at you like, what the hell is that driving? What are you? Look how close we are to the windscreen. Like,
you do have 2 airbags.
You do have 2 airbags. And about that, you're telling me that before.
They do come in single airbags as well. So if you need 2 airbags to protect yourself and the passenger, make sure you opt for 2 airbags.
Tell it. It is a very funny car, but it's actually quite a fun car to drive. Like, most comical cars that you drive, they're actually horrible, right?
Yeah.
This, on the other hand, it's actually quite fun to drive, and it turns heads.
Yeah, like I said, you've got the air condition on at the moment. You do feel how cold it is, and you do have the power.
So let's check out what it's like on the outside. Like Mo said, we're going to go through specs and the different variants. We've got another variant we'll getting to the site to show you. And we're just going to go through and do a walk around of the car. So let's do that.
There you go.
All right. So as we promised, we're going to talk about the specs and about these comical pickups. First of all, this one has central locking, and it says ultra standard key, old school. So you got to lock and unlock with the key. So this is optional.
That's an option. Central locking is an option.
Far out. All right. So, Mo, what do we have here? So this has obviously got more room, obviously.
Yes, that's what we call it our space cab.
Yep.
So you've got a bit of more room for storage to the back, more height for someone taller. Yes, that's a single cab.
Yep.
That's a 5-speed manual.
Yep.
4-speed automatic.
Yep.
And like we said earlier, that's got the safety pack. That doesn't have the safety pack, so there's no lane departure, no anti-collision.
None of that.
None of that.
But it does have more room for you to lean back.
Exactly.
Which is a bit more comfortable, as we've shown on the video before.
Yeah.
Sit so upright.
Especially if you get someone like 6 foot tall,
Yeah.
they're not going to fit in that car for sure.
So this one here, obviously it has some treatment done to it. It's got like a nudge bar at the front. It's got a cool matte black nudge bar.
Yeah.
It's got a sports bar, which makes it go faster.
Yes, it does. 100%.
Especially with its...
Color-coded mirrors. Mirrors. So these are the things that you have to look for something. They're cosmetic, but they do make a difference to the look of that.
Oh, of course, especially this color. This color is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Yes.
And as we were saying in the car, guys, we will tell you specs of the engine. It's not even a 1 litre 3-cylinder motor. It's a
660
cc.
Yes, 660 cc, so under 1 litre.
And it makes just under 40 kilowatts.
Yeah, 38 kilowatt.
And it makes
38 horsepower.
so it makes just under 40 kilowatts, and it makes 63 newton meters.
Exactly. So not much power there. Good for fuel, but it gets you from point A to point B.
Well, look how we showed in the car. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the worst. It's pretty light, I'm guessing. It's not going to be a heavy car. So that engine's enough for this. Exactly. And turbocharging this. So yeah, walk us around. So
show you the back. That's what we talk about. Taken last time, one of these for a barbecue.
Yep.
Loading, unloading can be very easy. So all those 4 panels comes up.
Yeah. Oh, they do.
There you go.
Is that unlocked? Yeah.
There you go. So loading your stuff in there, it's very, very easy. So go for the barbecue, chuck everything in there, close it back, off you go. Your gym equipment, your tradie, anything you want. And that's exactly the same thing. So with this one being a space card, you get a bit of hiding compartment underneath.
Right.
They do exactly the same thing. Same specs in terms of engine, 350
kilo,
capacity.
And interior,
they're standard. Like I said, your windows, central lock-in, but they're exactly the same.
They're exactly
whether you go four-wheel drive, two-wheel drive, or the high specs.
For leather, is it?
No leather options.
So we'll just show everyone what it's like on the inside. You know what it reminds me of, Mo? Yeah. It reminds me of a miniature 70 series.
Here you go. So that's your power windows. Make sure you look for that. Obviously, we've got dual airbag for this particular car. And then we'll show you in the center, that's where all your lane departure, stop start button, and your anti-collision. So this is an option for this particular car. And that's your sound system.
That's your sound system.
Old school radio.
Sorry about that, truck just went past. But it is very basic, but like you said, things won't go wrong then. Because it's so basic, things will not break.
Exactly.
And it will last the test of time.
Look, we've seen them in Japan. Some of them, they do 100,000 Ks. We only import them very, very low Ks, sort of under 10 to 20,000 Ks. Some of them, they come with 600 kilometers, like technically they're brand new.
Yeah.
But I've seen them in Japan. Some of them, they go 150 to 100,000 kilometers.
Wow. Well, guys, if you're looking for a very practical mini ute that can serve purposes of fitting in any tight space, because I bet you this fits anywhere, and plus it can go into underground car parks very easily compared to most of the utes where you got to lift them and you can't fit. So look, I think this is a very, very practical solution for someone that doesn't really care, like we're saying in the car mode, for a big 4x4, and they want a sports car for the weekends, and they need something for during the week. Why not buy one of these?
Exactly. And you buy a car from us, we do everything for you. Your first service been done, 6-month registration, and a 3 years warranty as well. So that's all inclusive in the price.
So what are you waiting for, guys? If you want a carry, you gotta come see Mo.
Come and see us.
Mo, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for coming in.
Guys, if you're looking for your next Japanese import, please come and see Mo here down at MyCarChoice in Greenacre. You will not be disappointed. He's got such great cars on hand, and he's so hospitable. And he knows a lot about his stock, which is fantastic. For more cars, head over to Only Cars, and for finance, Credit One.